Besides dominating the tennis courts like a superhero in short shorts, Rafael Nadal knows how to flex his wealth. And what's a tennis legend without a sleek private jet, right? You know, for those last-minute trips when he wants to take a victory lap across the globe. Rafael's go-to flying machine? The Cessna Citation CJ2, coming in at a cool $6 million. Now, this jet isn't just for show. It's got twin engines, it's fuel efficient, because even millionaires like to save gas money. And it's so easy to fly, it practically invites Nadal to give it a try between sets. Plus, it fits up to 8 people, just enough to bring his entourage along for the ride. But we're only scratching the surface here. From gigantic mansions to super rare cars, get ready for the rest of the stupidly expensive things Rafael Nadal owns. On October 10th, 2024, Nadal made headlines not for a killer forehand, but for announcing his retirement. In a video posted on Instagram where his 21.8 million followers eagerly await every update, the legendary athlete shared that he's hanging up his racket after the Davis Cup finals in November.
Y un final, y creo que es el momento adecuado para poner.
For Nadal, that end comes after 92 titles and 22 Grand Slams. Not too shabby, right? I mean, the man is practically a walking trophy case. And while 2024 Summer Olympics didn't bring any new hardware for Rafa, thanks Djokovic, the man has already collected gold twice. One in Rio, one in Beijing. So no one's shedding tears for him just yet. But retirement isn't all about saying goodbye to the courts. It's also about saying hello to lounging in his oceanfront villas and zipping around the seas in his personal floating mansion. While you're here, if you love all things luxury and want to see more of the wild, expensive stuff celebrities blow their cash on, go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell, because that's what we're all about on this channel. When he's not smashing tennis balls, Rafa's catching waves, literally. His main house in Puerto Cristo, a picturesque harbor town on the eastern side of Mallorca, Spain, where you're more likely to see yachts than cars. And guess who's got the best view? You guessed it, Rafa. His home sits on a prime 1.7-acre spot overlooking the crystal clear water, where he docks his catamaran when it's not out, showing the Mediterranean who's boss. Nadal bought the property over a decade ago and wasted no time tearing down the old Mallorcan villa to build his dream palace. And because he doesn't do anything halfway, it took him a solid 7 years to get it just right. Designed by architect Tomo Esteva, the new digs are sleek, modern, and perfect for kicking back after a grueling day of being a tennis icon. With an infinity pool, massive windows, and terraces aplenty, this place is more luxury retreat than regular human home. Oh, and did I mention it's also where he parks his super yacht? Yeah, more on that in a second. Rafa doesn't limit himself to just the Mediterranean. He's got another spot in the Dominican Republic because why have one oceanside palace when you can have two? His second home is a $2 million beach house in Playa Nueva Romana. And honestly, if you squint hard enough, it could double as a tropical postcard. Think white sand beaches and turquoise waters. This 2-story villa was his victory treat to himself in 2012, right after he won his 7th French Open. The house comes with 3 bedrooms, for when tennis legends need a nap, a sleek, modern kitchen, and a private pool because, of course, it has a private pool. The best part? He's got access to a private marina, golf course, and tennis courts, just in case he gets the urge to swing a racket on vacation. Now, Rafa doesn't just love being near the ocean, he likes being on it. His previous boat, the Monte Carlo MCY76, was his floating playground, with enough space and style to make any millionaire drool. At 76 feet long, this yacht was named Beethoven and was sold for around $3 million in 2019. But did Nadal downgrade after selling it? Absolutely not. He upgraded to a Sunreef 80 power yacht called the Great White that cost him around $6.2 million. This beast is a 78.5-foot luxury masterpiece with all the space he needs to entertain guests, host parties, and live the dream life on the high seas. With over 3,800 square feet of living space, this yacht is bigger than most people's houses. Think of it as a mansion that just so happens to float. It's got 4 cabins and can accommodate 8 guests and 4 crew members to make sure everything's always perfect. This bad boy is a floating palace, complete with an open concept fly bridge that has a bar, a barbecue for those sea breeze barbecues, and wait for it, a garage for jet skis. When Nadal is not sailing, the Great White is parked right in front of his house in Puerto Cristo, ready for his next adventure. But let's be real, Rafa doesn't always want to fly or glide on water. Sometimes he needs to hit the road in style, and his car collection is exactly what you'd expect from a tennis legend. fast, flashy, and with just the right amount of flair. First up, we have the Aston Martin DBS. Valued at $340,000, it is probably the closest Rafa will get to being James Bond, unless MI6 is recruiting tennis pros now. This sleek two-door masterpiece can hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.6 seconds, thanks to a 5.2-liter V12 engine that cranks out 760 horsepower. If Nadal ever needed a quick getaway, like maybe after losing a match to Djokovic, this car's got him covered. Then there's the Ferrari 458 Italia, because of course Rafa owns a Ferrari. Who wouldn't want to zip around in a car that does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat? With a 4.5-liter V8 engine producing 562 horsepower, this $250,000 beauty is pure speed and elegance. It's basically the Ferrari of Ferraris, if that makes any sense. Footballers like Neymar and Balotelli also drive one, so clearly, if you're an elite athlete, this car comes with the territory. Now, if Rafa's feeling like a bit of off-road action, he hops into his Mercedes-Benz AMG G63. This is the kind of car that says, I may be a tennis superstar, but I can still handle a little dirt. It's rugged, it's luxurious, and it can go from 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds. Originally designed for military use, it's perfect for those days when Rafa wants to channel his inner action hero, while still being comfy in his $170,000 ride. Speaking of Mercedes, Nadal's got an AMG SL55 in his collection. This convertible, which goes anywhere from $150,000 to $180,000, is for those days when you just want to feel the wind in your hair while hitting 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds. It's like Nadal's way of saying, I'm retired, I deserve this. And who's going to argue with that logic? But this list doesn't end without us talking about Nadal's relationship with Kia.
It feels like it's happening.
As Kia's brand ambassador, he's also been seen driving their electric gem, the Kia EV6 GT. It's eco-friendly, sure, but it's still got 577 horsepower and can zoom from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Not bad for a car that costs around $63,000, making it the perfect balance of speed, sustainability, and sponsor perks. Finally, there's the Kia Stinger, which is basically the everyman's car of Rafa's collection. Valued at around $44,000, it's the most affordable option in his garage, but don't be fooled. It still packs a punch with its 365 horsepower twin-turboed V6 engine. Kia even created a special Rafa edition, just to remind everyone that even when he's driving the budget option, he's still got style. Rafael Nadal isn't just serving aces with Kia, he's also serving up some serious wrist candy, thanks to his favorite watchmaker, Richard Mille. Ever since he became a Richard Mille ambassador in 2010, his wrist game has been as impressive as his Grand Slam wins. And trust me, these watches aren't your average TikToks. Let's start with the RM027, the first watch Nadal ever wore on court. Weighing less than 20 grams, this bad boy was the lightest watch Richard Mille ever made when it debuted in 2010. It's so delicate you'd think it could shatter under the pressure of a Rafa serve, but nope, it's still ticking away with a cool $1.6 million price tag. In 2016, Nadal upgraded to the RM2702, which looks like it was plucked straight from an art museum thanks to its TPT quartz and carbon fiber case. That'll set you back $1.3 million, but who's counting? Then came the RM2703, with a nod to Nadal's Spanish roots, boasting red and yellow colors and shock absorption of 10,000 Gs, because who doesn't need that during a serve? Fast forward to the RM2704, which celebrated 10 years of the Nadal-Richard Mille bromance. Complete with metal mesh that looks like tennis racket strings, this baby can take 12,000 Gs of shock, in case Rafa's topspin gets a little wild. Yours for only $2.15 million. Nadal's collection also includes the RM3503, available in blue or white, featuring a patented butterfly rotor for sport mode, like a turbo button for your wrist. The blue version fetches around $850,000, while the white is a cool $1 million. And for those off-court days, Rafa has the RM01103 in rose gold, a mere $300,000 to $400,000. Of course, Nadal isn't just splashing cash, he's making it too. In 2016, Nadal decided it was time to pass on his tennis superpowers, launching the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca. This isn't your average tennis camp, it's more like Hogwarts for future tennis stars, minus the wands, but plenty of rackets. With 20 tennis courts, a fitness center that could rival a spaceship, And accommodations for young players, this place is designed to churn out champions. Rafa even partnered with tennis federations, schools, and clubs worldwide, because why keep all that talent bottled up on an island? If these kids aren't winning Grand Slams in 10 years, well, at least I got to hang out in Mallorca. Then there's Citation, his upscale Spanish restaurant chain. With locations in Madrid, Ibiza, Beverly Hills, and Mexico, Citation isn't just a place to eat, it's a place to dine like a tennis legend. The menu serves up traditional Spanish dishes with a modern twist, perfect for those who like their tapas with a side of luxury. If you've ever wondered how Nadal manages to look so stylish while sweating through 5-hour matches, thank his long list of sponsors. Rafa's in bed with the best: Emporio Armani, Nike, Richard Mille, you name it. He's the face of more brands than he has tennis titles, which is really saying something. When you add it all up, Rafa's estimated net worth hovers around $225 million. Sure, that's more money than we might see in a lifetime, but hey, he's earned it.